This is Bill Connors with Telepractice Certification Community. Welcome to our video accompanying our October 2016 newsletter. Today, I have the privilege of talking to Jacqueline Taylor and David Rubinstein from Kaleidoscope Education Solutions. This is our first in a series of interviews with people who are out there working with providing speech language pathology and other services via telepractice. So welcome, David and Jacqueline.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having us.
Good. You guys can jump in whenever you want, whoever wants to talk. I thought maybe we'd start with the bigger picture, the macro. What is your vision or your mission that you see for your telepractice, the telepractice part of your company?
Well, our vision is multifaceted. Number one, there are still people throughout the country, special education directors, pupil services directors, superintendents, that may not be believers, although we've come quite a way in using it all over the country. So part of it is to really show how easy, how absolutely amazing this quality of services are, and that it can be a heavily relied upon tool and method of delivering services so that no matter where the child is, they never have to be without services, whether it's in a brick and mortar school and there's a shortage of speech pathologists available in the area, or if it's in a rural area where it's tougher to get to. So ultimately, the vision is to make sure it's accepted at all levels everywhere, that it's understood that this is really how children learn anymore, and that we're constantly improving the therapist's ability to deliver and to be able to offer every type of service. So no matter what child in any part of the world needs this service, we can give it to them at a very high level of quality.
And you know, it is a remarkable, effective service delivery, as we can see. We can even do it out of a car where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we have a dual model, one where we provide on-site therapists as well as therapists providing via telepractice, because sometimes there could be a large caseload and the school can only find one speech pathologist, so we can help, fill in for where they don't have a speech pathologist. But
sure,
it used to be where you couldn't even do it on an iPad. Now what we offer can be provided on an iPad, and even in my own children's schools, as soon as they start high school, they're given an iPad each year. So, very versatile, very flexible, and we've really been able to solve many, many problems out there where children are now experiencing and receiving the services they need and deserve.
Tell me a little bit about how that works in your company, the logistics, the management of your telepractice. What kind of platform do you use?
Well, I'm lucky enough to have Jackie Taylor, who's really considered one of the pioneers in the industry, because she was working for Kent State University when this all started, and she was working on a grant with both brick and mortar students as well as in-home. So that's in fact how I met Jackie, because she was shopping for varying technologies that existed at the time, 8-10 years ago. So I'm going to let Jackie answer that, because she's really speech pathologist who's licensed, mother of 4, technical guru, and she's the one that really manages our entire nationwide framework for this.
Okay, talk a little bit about that framework, the logistics. Jackie, what kind of platforms you guys using?
We're currently using Adobe Connect as our platform to provide services for students. We have therapists in many states throughout the country. What we do is we bring on therapists that are interested in providing telepractice services. We have a credentialing department that makes sure that they have all the proper credentials, not only for the state in which they live, the state in which the students are in. We provide one-on-one training on the Adobe Connect platform. So if it's an OT, a speech therapist, a physical therapist, social worker, I do all the training for our therapists, so I can make sure that They are knowledgeable about everything they need to know with Adobe Connect to provide services. With me being a speech therapist, I'm also a good resource if they have any questions about an IEP or anything like that. Been working with OTs and PTs for over 20 years, so can provide some guidance in that area, but we also have some OTs and PTs that we can direct them to if they have some questions about that service delivery. And we also have a Facebook page for our therapists that they can be part of. And if they have any questions or discussions, they can put it out there for the other therapists that work for us. So it's hard sometimes doing online therapy as a contractor, because you're kind of an island, and you're in your home and you're seeing kids either at a brick and mortar school or in their homes, and you don't have that connection with the teachers that you would if you were in the building. So we're trying to do everything we can to prevent our therapists from feeling like they're stranded on an island doing this alone. So,
So your Facebook page, they would find that with Kaleidoscope Education Solutions?
it's called KES Therapist. So when we bring on therapists, we let them know about that page. It's a closed group, so they have to request access. They can search it and request access. And we just let them know that it's just us. It's all therapists that work with Kaleidoscope. So it's just been a recent addition this year. We're just trying to do everything we can to make our therapists feel part of a group and not, alone. And then they also have that ability to collaborate with other professionals that might be more difficult.
So in closing here, guys, if you have anything else quickly to add, let me know. Certainly let us know how people can get in touch with you relative to services or employment.
Well, I'm going to let Jackie speak. I'm not going to speak too much, but this is catching on at even a greater degree than it was before. I believe we've really reached a tipping point. So we're always looking for those great therapists who are well trained, who take it seriously, who care about really providing a high quality service. And that's what really makes us great. It's the therapist that's really qualified, cares about it, is willing to constantly get better through our monthly little seminars that Jackie gives, so that we're always on top of the latest and greatest new ways of doing different things via online. Great and exciting ways to keep the child motivated so that they're not distracted. And it's just something that we always keep improving. So I just wanted to put that message in.
I agree entirely. I think learning telepractice is very doable. I know at Telepractice Community we're training people all the time. But the key is to get the great therapist. Jackie, any closing comments? Anything you want to add?
I just want to add that Kaleidoscope, we are really therapist and child centered. So I take great pride in knowing that all of my therapists can call me at any time. They can they have every therapist that we bring on board has my cell phone number. They have my office number. They know they can call, text, or email me anytime. And like I said, we are always looking out, I guess because I am a therapist myself, we are always keeping in mind the therapist viewpoint and trying to make sure that everything that we do is therapist-centered and best for the child. So no one in our group is just a number. Everybody has a name. I take great pride knowing that where my therapists live, if they have a family, those kind of things. They're not just a number with us. They are truly part of a family. And like I said, knowing they can reach out at any time and get an answer, and not just hope that it goes to somebody and maybe get an answer that week or that month. So we really do look out for our therapists and do what's best for the kids that we service.
Well, I appreciate that. I knew very little about your company, and I'm really excited about how you've taken things, moving them forward. The center on the client and the center on the therapist both. That's wonderful. Well, thank you guys, and we'll be adding this to our newsletter.
Well, thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.